But let's be real, most people leaders, even today, are solving problems personally.
The systemic thinking, this paradigm shift, where do you start? Like, what is the first step?
Often, when someone's promoted or a people leader, they've actually been brilliant individual contributors. But the first thing they do.
True leadership isn't about controlling every single detail.
Hello, everyone. It's been a minute, but here we are. Welcome to Yoka sessions, where we talk about corporate culture and customer experience. I'm Yogesh.
And I'm Karthik. And in today's episode, we are going to see how senior leaders are going to dive deeper and just let go and scale effortlessly.
This episode is actually a nudge of getting out of the comfortable chaos of managing people to building processes that scale. Let's get started there, Karthik.
I like that, Yogesh. I think today we're going to dive into an episode where we're going to see how people leaders are going to build systems and scale and not just lead through people. And I think that's a crucial discussion point for all of us.
I agree. But let's be real. Most people leaders, even today, are solving problems personally. It's like untangling wires every morning. And that's not scalable. And in the long run, it doesn't just exhaust you. It's just unsustainable noise after some time.
Systems, my friend. Elegant, robust, scalable systems. I think that's the answer for this. And think of it like moving from handcrafted artisan products to maybe a well-oiled assembly line or a manufacturing unit. You get consistent output of high quality and scale, and it frees bandwidth for you to now start solving bigger picture problems and look at, say, strategy and innovation.
Exactly, and not having someone to actually remind you whether they filed that report. Often when someone's promoted or a people leader, they've actually been brilliant individual contributors. But the first thing they do is try to multiply versions of themselves. And by trying to do that, they get it into a format of micromanagement and look for things that work just right according to them. This can get exhausting and ultimately futile.
Agreed, Yogesh. And the systemic thinking, this paradigm shift, where do you start? Like, what is the first step?
The first step is to just let go. You got a team filled with great individuals. You know their strengths and weaknesses. Think processes and think frameworks that allow them to be independent and grow into that role. This can be a real mindset shift. Often, it's a fear of losing control of your team.
The illusion of control. It's like a toddler holding on to their favorite blanket. I mean, true leadership isn't about controlling every single detail. It's about designing or simulating an environment that can repeat success even when you're not there. Think about it like I'm going to use an architect as an example. An architect who designed a world-class skyscraper that can withstand storms without micromanaging what's gone behind every brick. I think that's simple and beautiful. But what systems are we talking about here, Yogesh? It sounds a bit abstract to me, is it?
Not abstract at all. We're talking about the nuts and bolts of getting work done. Document every best practice that you have. This helps people not to reinvent the wheel every time. Think of this as a company's secret sauce. Google's OKRs, right? It's not just something that today's companies review once a year. In Google, they actually get into, say, recurring meetings, weekly sometimes. And this allows a person to stay aligned with their goal. We can also talk about performance management systems, where you talk about clear feedback, clear expectation, and a clear road to success within the organization. Unilever does this really well. They have a future leader program where they rotate roles globally every 12 months. What this does for them, their bench strength is strong at every level. You have a great team. It's not about assigning tasks. It's about empowering your team to take decisions with the resources they have, right? And this sets a clear tone and expectation as well.
To add to that, we need clear communication frameworks, how information cascades from top to bottom to top. The RACI matrix, like who is responsible for what. We want clear accountability to be established so that we've all had those endless email chains where people are just confused with so many faces in the room. Those have to be avoided. Last but not the least, knowledge management systems. Think of it as a centralized repository that captures institutional knowledge. Investing in a company brain so that your company's workforce doesn't stop when a couple of individuals leave. I think that's pretty essential. But these are all great, these points that we discussed. Like, how does a senior leader get started?
One system at a time. Let's not boil the ocean. Pick one area that's causing the most friction or taking the most amount of time in your process. It could be onboarding a new resource. It could be the amount of time it takes to handle an escalation. These are things that need to be, and you need to have specific solutions. If you don't document it, pros, cons, and everything in between, you need to know it all to kind of fix this and then design a better way. Think of small wins, big impact. Am I making sense, Karthik?
Totally okay. And you had mentioned delegation frameworks in the few minutes back. I think many senior leaders or many people leaders who are, as you mentioned, like good individual contributors, they often see delegation as a stumbling block because there is a misnomer. People think delegation is offloading tasks. That's not true. When you delegate work, you're investing in your team's ability to grow, and also that frees up your strategic bandwidth, and you're able to spend time on bigger problems, and it helps you as a org collectively grow. Make no mistake, everybody has to grow in an organization. Simple example of investing in your team is like teaching your kid to ride a bike. I mean, you can hold for a while, but if the kid has to learn to ride, you eventually have to let go.
Totally agree with you, Karthik. I can't believe I even giving a cricket analogy. It's like moving a team of professional cricketers to world-class cricketers. Does that make sense?
I mean, your example makes sense, but the fact that you're giving a cricket example is shocking because he once thought that Karan Gill and Shubman Gill were the same person. But I mean, coming back to what you said, the payoff is huge. Like improved efficiencies, scalability, better output, and of course, the one that every investor or company is going for, the silver donut, increased profitability. It makes absolute sense, and the company investing in a series of processes is more scalable, more sustainable, and it helps unlock the next level of leaders. It's eventually investing back in the organization.
Absolutely. And this attracts top talent because people want to work in environments that are clear processes, their contributions are valued, and has a clear growth chart. I mean, no one wants to constantly wait for their boss to tell them what to do. You want to give them the power to do it. You want to give them the freedom to explore.
I'm convinced, Yogesh, but for a leader to now make this tectonic shift of moving to strategic thinking, what is the first step? Where do they even start?
Just ask them. It's as simple as it gets. Oversimplified, but that works. I mean, you'd be surprised as the amazing ideas you get. I do this very often. I ask my leaders, what's the one thing that you'd want to remove from the system? If automated, will save them the most amount of time or improve efficiency, right? And in turn, encourage them to ask the team as well. And you'd be surprised with how the simplest of ideas have the biggest impact, right? This also encourages them to talk about pain points, build team culture, right? And get into an environment where everyone is constantly trying to improve the status quo. And I don't see this as an extra task on my list. I actually think this is a core leadership responsibility.
Core responsibility. Well, that's incredibly insightful. I think I'm seeing this shift from leading through people to systems as a fundamental evolution and a vital cog for a people leader to scale and scale their impact across an org.
I agree. Let's just recap on what we spoke of today in terms of actionables on how you can become an architect of growth in your system. We spoke about standardized processes. We spoke about performance management systems. We spoke about delegation frameworks, clear communication, and knowledge management tools.
So with these 5 points, think systems beyond people and scale to the next level. It's strategic brilliance and it's there for the taking.
Absolutely. It'd be amazing if we could hear your thoughts. Perhaps a bottleneck that you'd like to solve for in your team.
Or what is the one system that you'd like to have installed in your team for the next 3 to 6 months to transform the way you're working?
We'd love to hear your ideas and learn as we grow. With that, we come to the end of this episode of Yoka Sessions. Thank you for your time. As always, like, share, and do consider subscribing.
Until next time, keep giving your customers exceptional experiences. Peace.